Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Hey, Omar De Jesus, how you doing? Just a comic page I'm working on. It's like a page 145 or something like that of my book. Laura Adler, hello. Wis Desu, sorry, finally the YouTube algorithm understands you. Yeah, I've it's page 140 something. I'm almost done with this volume, so it's a big investment in time. Mountain Boo 7, hello, how you doing? Everyone, a bunch of names I don't recognize. Mountain, Laura Adler. Well, thanks. You like my inking? I appreciate it. I enjoy it, even though it's difficult. I'm not the best at it, but I try. Liam G, well, thank you. Looks like a JoJo Bizarre Adventure. It's something like that. My brother in Christ, you got to submit these to the right places. Well, the problem is that it's a Masters of the Universe fan comic, just a fan fiction. So I can't do anything with it, but it's just a story I wanted to tell. So it's just a thing that I want to do. Luis Riviera, I know you, right? You're that artist that's done a lot of work for Red Leaf and some other small publishers, right? Luis Riviera. You're a hell of an artist, sir. No? Damn. Then there's another guy by the exact same name that I've just mistaken you for. But still. Hello, Grace. Well, sorry, man. You have the same name as a guy that I follow on Facebook. But yeah, J. Rose, it's just a fan comic, a fan fiction. So my next project after this will be one of my own that I can sell and own on my own. But this is just something I wanted to do. And I've got, just for anybody who's watching, so this 150-page book that I'm working on is just volume 6. Right here. I've got 5 other books. That's book 1. There's book 2. Book 3. And there's book 4. Front and back covers. And my most recently finished one, book 5. This one's like 120 pages. When I said I wanted to make a fan fiction, I am making a real full-on hardcore super story. Where does this motivation come from? I don't know how else to put it. You have to want to do it. You can't just think about it. You can't tell yourself, I'm going to do this one day. You can't sit around and wait for yourself to get good enough. You just need to sit down and do it and see it through to the end. There's discipline involved. Even if you're not the best artist, just sit down and draw the thing. And just completing it and having a story to show people puts you ahead of so many other people. So that's all I can say. That's where my motivation comes from, is I just want to do this. I've been having ideas that I've wanted to, do in comic form my entire life. And I think most creative people are the same way. And you just never get them out onto paper. And I was like, no more. I'm not going to have one more story idea just sit in my head, never realized. I am going to make this. And so I sat down and just started going. And years later, I'm here and I've got the whole story almost completely done. Finding the time is part of the struggle, depending on what you got going on in life and what you're able to do. But just carve out a little time and draw every day and make a damn story. I can't tell you, Wisdisu. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your. But how do you get the same determination? It's just what I was just saying. You just have to want to do it, man. No one can there's no magic formula to create the will to make it the thing. You have to want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, then you're not going to make it, and then it's a pointless conversation. You know what I mean? If you want to do it, you know, it's an investment in time. It's not easy. But just sit down and just start doing it. Lemac, he said, you probably don't recall, but I wrote you a year ago that you'd improve and your current work is really sad. I do remember your name, Lemac. I do remember that, so thank you. What are the main steps for making a comic? Well, where do you start? Like I said, you gotta want to do it, and you gotta know how to draw on some level. Then sit down and write out a story, even if it's just a plot, just a basic breakdown of the story, just a simple, like, it doesn't have to be a full-on script or something like that. Just get your basic idea on paper, and then you have to do your thumbnails. You have to work out the story visually, where you do things like this, where you draw little rough sketches to kind of figure out your storytelling. You know, draw them out like this, and then draw them on paper or digitally or whatever the hell it is you do. And then you're off to the races. But you have to just sit down and start doing it. Mr. Green has great advice right there. There's plenty of communities out there, like my channel here. We have a Discord where there's a bunch of artists out there that offer advice and tips and tricks on how to do and what to do and where to go and how to go. So thank you, Mr. Green. That is perfect, solid advice. I'm always trying to think of what do I say, what do I add? Yeah, Ariana, you can draw me next, Daddy. Yeah, I'm sure that's real. So anyway, I hope that helps. Just I find that unlikely, Ariana, but if so, if you are a real human being, hello. It's just an odd statement to make. Don't get me wrong, I like drawing women. If you see my Instagram page, you see that I don't shy away from that, but it's an odd thing for someone to show up and say. But I'll just assume that you are a real human being. Yeah. Uh-huh. How's it going, Byron? Whiz, man, talking to a fellow artist is really fun. Well, I appreciate it. I find it to be fun. Endraven, how's it going? Smiley face, you're asking, am I self-published or who do you publish to? I don't publish to anybody. I'm not a professional anything. This is just a fan comic. I'm just a guy that's sitting at home that likes to make comics and is just doing his own fan fiction for the fun of it. So ain't nobody publishing me except myself. I just print up copies and make them available to people that are interested. Speaking of which, how's it going, Byron? Patrick Pierce, who got stabbed, just this evil witch that's caused all kinds of mayhem and death and destruction, and her time has come. Luis Riviera, you should think about becoming a professional. You know, my friend, it's not that simple. You can't just decide you want to be professional and get professional work. It doesn't work that way. The big publishers aren't looking for anybody. There's real artists that are like not finding work. It's not that easy. I wish that it was. Yeah, they definitely both go into hell, I think. Yeah, Byron, I've said that for a while now, that I kind of agree that I think like independent people creating their own work, crowdfunding it, like a person doesn't have to go through Marvel or DC or Image Comics, because if you can create the work and you put in the effort to get it out there to be visually seen, you can get your stuff funded and in the hands of people, and you can make a living at it. You know, you still got to put in a lot of work. So, yeah, I agree. One of my good friends, Isaac Bell, he does this comic Metal Shade. I mean, the man's making a living, him and his girlfriend, just doing Kickstarters and crowdfunders, just doing that, based on the audience that they've built up for themselves. And he didn't have to go through Marvel or DC or anything. He just put in the work, put in the time on social media to get his name out there seen. And a couple years ago, he did his first Kickstarter, his first crowdfunder. I think he ended it, for his first one, he ended at like $30,000 or something like that. Then he did another one that was even better. His third one hit something like 70. So him and his girlfriend just make comics for a living. Just living the dream. So you don't got to go through Marvel. So it can be done without them. Yeah, people, yeah, I've seen, there are some people pulling millions, literally millions of dollars. And like, I mean, don't get me wrong, millions of dollars would be awesome. I would take that, but it doesn't even need to be that. Just enough. I mean, I would like it so I made enough that I could quit my job and just do this, you know, but just enough to make a little money on the side so I could create art, get it seen. I would be a happy guy. What's up, D-Man? It is, Goku, it is. D-Man, you're tipsy? Hell yeah, brother. I wish I was. I saw Jim Lee do this with the post-it notes on some live stream, and I'm like, that's genius. And it turned out to be completely genius because it's an easy, cheap way to mask off shit and, you know, make a mess and then preserve the artwork surrounding everything. I wish I could say I thought of it. I did not, but ever since I saw Jim Lee do it, I'm like, oh my God, that is brilliant. So, now I can't save the gutters in between these panels, but I can clean those up in Photoshop in one simple swipe of the erase tool, so that's fine, but I don't want ink splatter going over all the other art. There is I do have a video up on my channel there, Goku, where me and my brother review a comic book while we're both drunk off our asses. It's quite embarrassing and very fun. Yeah, I just bought a pack of post-it notes, and again, super cheap, super easy, and I've even ripped them up into small chunks and gone around curves on figures before to then ink or splatter or whatever around them. Super convenient. So like I said, once I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. How did I never think of that? But we all gotta learn sometime from somewhere. I don't know about that, D-Man. He took his stuff very seriously. Hey D-Man, I was talking with my brother. I know you watch his channel sometimes. He's been doing all this video game, like old NES content, playing old games. We were talking that him and I are going to get together and we're going to play Karate Champ. That old fucking terribly awesome martial arts game. It's for content for his channel. We're going to do Karate Champ together. It'd be fun if we were drunk while we're doing it though. Drunken Karate Champ. How about that? What's up, Kevin B. Hall? How are you? Used to love that Karate Champ game. It was so fucking hard, but once you figured out the controls, it became very fun. Cool Gaming Guy says, man, drawing comics is hard. You are not joking. But it's worth it. If you're a kind of a person that wants to tell stories, it's the easiest way outside of writing, but you got to be a good writer for that to work. If you're at least kind of a good artist, or you can find a good artist. Yeah, Kevin, the other night we were listening to old video game theme music. Man, that stuck with me. I've almost wanted to just listen to them separately on my own. Double Dragon and Mario Brothers and Ninja Gaiden. Shit is so good. Zelda on NES, right? Rob does not hate Zelda. Rob just didn't like Zelda. There's a difference. It just was not one of those games that ever appealed to me. I didn't understand why people liked it so much, but that's different from hate. Let the hate flow through you. Like is happening to poor Tila here as she murders the shit out of Shadow Weaver. Right. Rob's a hater. Well, Rob's a hater. Rob 2024. There you go. I like that. Yeah, the ink splatter's fun. Once you kind of figure out the interesting textures you can do to it and understand that there's a certain randomness to it, that there's a certain amount of it you just can't control, but you just let it happen. And then you can go into some whiteout and play around with it and fiddle around with it, and it becomes kind of fun, actually. Might have the dagger break the border. We'll see how that looks later. Can always erase it. Dagger. No, this is not the girl going into the healing waters. She's still in the healing waters. That's Shira in the healing waters. This is Shadow Weaver and Tila. Shira has no idea that Tila is doing this to Shadow Weaver. In fact, no one does. just for the sake of conversation, I had kind of a disappointing kind of revelation about one of my old buddies I used to work with. He and I kind of stopped having contact when big shit started breaking out back in like 2020 and the political world and in culture, when certain people were killed and certain people were freaking out and we disagreed on the who's and what's and whys. But now this buddy of mine, he went and liked one of my posts over on Facebook, so I went and checked out his page, and I see that he's proudly announcing that he's joined up with the Church of Satan. And this is like, I'm not a religious guy, but there's just some shit I don't fuck with. And to see one of my old buddies like, yep, I'm part of the Church of Satan, we're better than Christians, I'm just like, wow, like what the fuck, man. Just to see when one of your old buddies who you used to spend a lot of time with just lose his fucking mind. It's really unfortunate. And you know, the thing is, they shout out that they absolutely do not do that. That's the thing that they say. No, we don't. Then it's like, then why call it that? Why even associate yourself with that? Yeah. Even if you're not religious like me, I just don't fuck around with that shit. Like, I know some people that go and get Ouija boards, start doing that shit. I'm like, I'm not a guy that really believes in that shit, but I still don't fuck with it. I don't even want to pretend to invite that kind of negative energy in my home. Like, absolutely no way. But then it starts making me think, seems like the world's absolutely falling to pieces in a biblical sense, and I'm like, I don't know. Shit's going crazy. Yeah, but this guy's in his like mid 40s like me. You know, you think that he'd be smarter than that, but he thinks he's better than organized religion, which, you know, organized religion has its faults and things it, you know, owes. You know, it's definitely done a lot of negative things, but good Lord, I just would never mess with that stuff. But he thinks he's better than everyone else, so good job, buddy. Magic 8 Ball is like the Ouija board with training wheels. There you go. Sanshiro Salai, you love dirty or messy, the grime on your panels. Well, thanks. I'm kind of having fun with it. The art, the story that's going on needs to be dark and kind of graphic, so hopefully this messy kind of vibe will help convey that a little bit. play along, we'll be rich, right?
Hello, friends. I recommend that we have leaders in Norton. Enjoy.
In this instant, D-Man, this is the end of the character. Yeah, her evil spirit might live on maybe, but in this comic, it's actually, this is the end of her because it's the end of the book. So this character is actually, she's already thought to have been dead once and come back. Tila putting a knife through her chest about 1,000 times is, you know. Yeah, I love that song. That's a new rendition of it that I've heard. I really like. No, D-Man, I have not looked up that song. And Raven, you talking about The Last of the Mohicans? If the sad beauty of that film doesn't grab you, I mean, yeah, I'm right there with you. Nate, oi! Everyone sound a resounding oi to Nate from Australia. I love when people actually do it. Sanshiro, that's a question that's difficult to answer. I feel like I overdo it, and then sometimes I feel like I don't do enough. I think honestly, as an artist, if you're doing it, you'll probably never be satisfied. You'll always feel like you could have done better. Very rarely will you feel like you nailed it exactly right the first time. And sometimes you just have to kind of let it go. But then someone else will see it and say it's the most perfect thing they've ever seen. It's the best thing that you've ever done. And you're like, how is that possible? So I appreciate your comment. You say my detail has always been sharp and refined. I feel like I'm just a mess. And I always feel like I'm adding too much or not adding enough. It's hard. Yeah, the reality of a perfectionist. There you go. That's basically it, yeah. I'm not a perfectionist, I don't think. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to find. I'm never satisfied. But I also know that I could try harder and do better. But also, you could lock yourself into a state of demanding so much perfection, you never move. You'll get better as you go if you just frickin' do the thing. Like, make the thing, try, go. But if you're waiting for yourself to get perfect, you'll never move and you'll sit in the same place forever, never improving, never learning, never growing. So you can get stalled by perfectionism and have it ruin you and stunt your growth. So, yeah, I would say don't worry about capturing perfectionism. I would say worry about getting a thing done. Make the thing. It won't be perfect, but at least you made it, and then you try again, and you try again, and then eventually you start developing something, and people will start responding. I've done that, Kevin. You say, I'm sure though, sometimes you go over old pages and go, dang, this is cool. Yes, I have done that. I have looked at stuff that I did years ago, and I'm like, I don't know how I did that. How did I pull that off years ago, 10 years ago? Like, you remember drawing it once you see it, but you're like, I don't know if I could do that now. That does happen. But yeah, perfectionism is a myth in your own eyes. There's other artists. There's artists who I'd be like, everything they did in this drawing is absolutely flawless and perfect, and there's nothing they could do to make it better. But to the artist themselves, they're probably like, oh, it sucks, I blew it, you know? So, Improving is always a good thing, and only focusing on the details can get you stuck. Exactly, Goku. Nate, I got mine done for you, Rob. Yeah, Nate created a whole comic. Nathan here. Three hollow? God damn it, am I remembering correctly? Go to Nathan's page. Follow him on Instagram. He's got a whole comic done. He's put a lot of effort into it. People should go check it out. Okay, let's see. Kind of a bummer for me tonight because this is the last day of my 9-day vacation, the last few hours of my vacation. I got to go to bed here in a couple hours and get back to the grind. I'm getting close, Nathan. You're asking if these are my last pages. I've probably somewhere between maybe about 10 pages to go to be done. I just do a day job in retail, Home Depot, Byron. I had my boys with me most of this week. I had to take them back to their mom on Friday. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little teary-eyed. I do it every time, every year when I have to take them back to their mom when I get them for a week. It's like I forget what it's like to have my own children in my own home and just have them there on a day-to-day basis. And then I have to take them back to their mom. And then I come back to an empty, quiet house. So the only thing I got to do is come to the drawing table and just start working on pages again. Then I went on a date on Saturday, went and got dinner and took a drive with this girl, and that was fun. Then I spent laundry day and Cobra Kai season 6 day today with the roommate. But I miss my kids. Thanks, Sanshiro. Yeah, Nate, it was the same That same person. Muscle girl. We hang out. We have a good time. No, Nate, it's not like that. She's not interested, so that's all right. But we're homies. She art models for me. We're good friends, so it all works out. The last night I had my boys over, my little 9-year-old, he was staying up late with me, laying on the couch next to me, and usually he goes to bed earlier. And like the previous 2 nights, he crashed out a lot earlier than me and his older brother. But around about 1 in the morning, when I finally get up off the couch to go to bed, he gets up with me, and I'm kind of cleaning up the kitchen for a minute, and he's like, "Daddy, I stayed up late with you so I could spend more time with you, to make more memories with you." Little shit made me cry. Yeah, we might get hit by an asteroid, D-man, right? We might have to.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. Because at the end of the day, every single round is on you. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Mark of a fighter. Nate, what do I think of the black rendering stuff you've been working on? Is it still all digital? I thought I also said or saw you say you'd been doing some stuff traditional. Is it are you still mostly digital there, Nate? I can see your stuff improving all the time. It seems like you're drawing a lot because obviously you are. You made a whole freaking comic. You know, it's looking good. You're getting kind of good on the faces, the expressions, the eyes. Like, I can see it. You've been doing both? Okay. It's actually probably pretty smart to do both ways because you're learning something new by doing both traditional and, you know, digital. Oh yeah, I like the gladiator. They're standing in the field. You know, I've actually used. Let me see. Let me grab it. Let's see. In book 4. Let's see. Like in volume 5. I titled it Strength and Honor. So you might recognize where that comes from. And then in book 4, I called the book Echoes of Eternia. He said a line in there, echoes through eternity. What you do in life echoes through eternity. So I titled book 4 Echoes of Eternia.
We know nobody likes
God, I hate commercials. So yeah, gladiator and some of the phrases I threw in there. Yeah, Masters End 5, strength and honor. You know what I'm proud of in these books is for anyone who reads them, and I hope they get the chance to. I feel like I've made Jitsu, Fisto, actually interesting characters because I've developed them on my own way, in my own, you know, with my own kind of characterization because they had Zero in the cartoon. And I think I've made Trapjaw a little bit interesting character by having him actually change from being bad guy to good guy. Like, I've developed these guys in different ways that I think people will like. I'm kind of excited for people to read these things. Queer giraffes references when I get that reference. You sold me queer. Oh my God, that's hilarious. older guy read your comic and thought you was gay because of a topless guy in it. That's usually the sign of someone who's gay, when you draw a comic book and there's a guy without a shirt on. I mean, that's my understanding, right? It's so ridiculous, the things that people pull out of these things. Thanks, Nate. I kind of have to work fast if I want to get it done. I am just lucky to kind of naturally be that way. Maybe if I slowed down, stuff would look better. I don't know. But, well, half this page was done yesterday there, Nate. This isn't a whole page today. Nate and the Suitor. Dude, that's funny. Yeah, I think you're right, Kevin B. Hall. Ridley Scott has made some great movies, but when was the last good one? I thought those Alien, the prequel, sequel things he did, I forget what they were called, that focused on the engineers. I thought they were visually interesting, but story-wise, you're like, man, this is way too complicated. They're just... It's like they're overcomplicating a simple alien, like, lizard monster story. Just need alien lizard tries to kill people in space, the end. Usin. Hey, Robert, you infiltrated my feed. Had to come see the new page. Hope you're doing good. I am doing good. Yeah, Kevin, they shouldn't try to explain the cosmic horror thing. The alien simply condensed out of the darkness of the universe. Perfect. Perfect. Exactly. That's exactly right. Over-explaining it screws it up. The first film is sex horror. That's true. And I'm kind of fine with that. Because everyone gets face raped by this, alien, lizard vagina thing. The only alien Romulus I care about is from Star Trek. Hallelujah, D-Man. But I miss when Star Trek was good. Another 17 takes. You were right. You were right. She looked pretty good in that scene where they had like the surgery thing where they cut the squid thing out of her. That was pretty horrifying and awesome. Prometheus, yes, thank you. And the thing is, Prometheus, it sure looked visually incredible, and it's just, like, how does it fit into the lore of everything? It doesn't make sense. And then, yeah, The Hobbit and The Last Jedi beat it for terrible. Yeah, Jehoshaphat, yeah. Jehoshaphat, Trigger, put that pea shooter down. And there were some parts in it that were legitimately creepy. Like, again, the aforementioned surgery scene. Like, the guy still knows how to direct a scene and have tension. But it's like the story was like, why are we seeing this? We don't need to see this. It just ruins the mystery of the xenomorphs. The more you explain it, the more you fuck it up. Kind of like the Borg on Star Trek. They were incredible the first time we saw them in that one episode, and then they had the big two-parter where they showed up and kidnapped Picard and screwed him up. But then that was it. You show them any more than that, and it just ruins the mystery. See, the thing is, I hope they never explain the Borg, because then it ruins it. I heard that they were like an offshoot of V'ger. It's just stupid. Excuse me. Right, Geronimo. Yeah, because the Star Trek guy in me was like, you can't just beam down to an alien, well, in their case, fly down to an alien planet, and just look around and, like, take off your helmet. Like, if it was an explored world, all they had to do was say it was previously explored and the atmosphere was tested. All right, fine, good. But then they literally breathe in death microbes. It's like, this is why we need the crew from the Enterprise to, like, beam down, wear spacesuits, have tricorders that tell you everything. Charlize Theron not simply rolling to the side to avoid being crushed. Yeah. It looked awesome, though. I think this page might be done. Yeah. How about the scene in Prometheus when they go into that giant temple thing, and then the bearded, like, Scottish dude pulls out the world's most advanced mapping mechanism, like this little, like, baseball he throws in the air, and it's like giving hyper detailed razor sharp maps of this entire area. And then a little bit later the group splits up and those two fucking idiots get lost. Like, they have a map on the ground level of where they've been, and they get lost, and then they go find, like, an alien snake and decide to pet it, and then it, like, crawls down their throats. It's like, again, stupid shit scientists. Yeah, playing patty cake with the weird alien cobra. Like, how fucking dumb. Like, if I'm an astronaut and I run into any kind of life form outside of Earth's atmosphere, you treat it as hostile until you know better. They're the true products of our current idiocracy. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. But they make it sound like they're all a bunch of egotistical dicks that all think that they're the best in their field. And they all go end up getting face raped by alien snake slugs. There's a time and place for everything, including face rape, but not when you're in space, on an alien planet, and you don't know what it is. It's one of the best soundtracks in existence. It's the score to Aliens. And how James Horner had like an extremely small window of time to make it. And he made it absolutely genius. I can't decide if I liked Alien Covenant slightly better. There were scenes in it I thought were really good. I thought it was really interesting, like for as bad as those movies are, in Alien Covenant where you got, what's his name, Magneto actor playing the androids, the same model but two different versions, and the way that they're like talking together, trying music together, but then like robotic martial arts where it's like precision robotic moves but deflecting with these martial art moves. It was such an interesting idea. I thought it was really cool. Like I was saying, those movies had lots of interesting concepts that they just failed to capitalize on. Don't matter what it's Arcturian. The one you had was male. Yeah, all this talk of aliens got me thinking about it. I'm like, I can watch the Aliens movie anytime. I can listen to the score anytime. Okay, I'm gonna quiz you guys. Pop quiz. Pop quiz, hot shot. What's the name of the planet that they had to go to? The colony that it was on. The colonist, the planet. What was the designation of it? Close, but not right, Kevin. But close. Anybody else? D-Man, just play along. Jesus Christ. Because I remember I went to see, I think it was one of the Aliens versus Predator movies, and they had this like live game that they played in the movie theater, and they asked the crowd of people what was the name of the planet that they landed on, and like no one knew, but I raised my hand and won like a candy bar or some shit. Endraven got it. Some letters, some numbers. Exactly. I knew that one. Pop quiz. What is Newt's real name? First and last name. I think I would know. Well, I do know it off the top of my head. I didn't look it up, but... almost. Geronimo, one of those names is half right. You got the first name. That's the actress. And yes, and we're supposed to do it without Google, but yes, it is Rebecca Jordan. All right, new aliens question. What's Hicks's first name? In the director's cut, Ripley and Hicks exchange each other's first names. He's Corporal Hicks, not Colonel, but I'm looking for his first, like, given Christian name. Or whatever it would be. Bob. Battery operated boyfriend. Negative and negative. Yeah, Zeno, I'm sure you're Googling it, but that is correct if somebody can decipher his puzzle.
How do the world's most innovative teams bring their ideas to life?
All right, I'll do one more since I'm the only one really having fun with this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how fucking pissed was Rob when he went to the movie theater to watch Aliens 3 to find out that they killed off Hicks and Newt and Bishop in the opening 10 minutes of the movie, making the entire sacrifice and struggle and hell that they survived completely pointless. Like, it ruined the rest of the movie. I was checked out of it the entire time. And honestly, still am. Over 9,000, right? That's essentially correct. I mean, Aliens 3 was pretty well directed, but fuck, I was so mad they just ruined the whole story. Yeah, and I like David Fincher. He makes some good movies, man. But what a complete unnecessary waste. And then Alien, the fourth one, that one was so stupid. What was that called again? It's like 100 years later, and they, cloned Ripley with her memories somehow. Yeah, right. Alien Resurrection, yeah. I'm like, God damn, this movie sucks too. There was that part at the end of Alien Resurrection where they had a big giant alien queen that was pregnant like a human would be, and then it gave birth to this alien human skull-faced creature thing that thought Ripley was mom, and then they punched a hole through the space station's wall so the atmosphere is being sucked out. So the alien was up against the bulkhead and his guts were being sucked out through his torso, and it's like looking at Ripley as if it's sad. I was laughing at how stupid it was. It was so fucking dumb. It's like, what happened to James Cameron's genius and Ridley Scott's genius that these fucking idiots make this stupid movie? I was laughing at how dumb that was. Yelling mama. I have to also admit, I'm not too proud to admit when I like a movie that is generally considered bad. I kind of like Aliens versus Predator. In terms of like two big alien monsters fighting each other, it had some pretty awesome shit. I didn't care about any of the humans. And in the Aliens versus Predator 2, I wanted every human to get killed because they were all stupid. I was like rooting for the Predator to just kill them all. And when he threw that giant like ninja star weapon down the hallway and severed that blonde bitch up against the wall and cut her in half, I was like, yes.
Throughout the year,
Same vibe as Kruger versus Jason. Yeah, I was just like, let these guys fight. Let it be a bit. I want to see predators and aliens fight. But I want to see like 10 predators versus 100 aliens and no humans, for God's sake. We got to empathize with somebody. No, we don't. Oh, shit. You want to see aliens attack Pandora from Avatar? Oh my God, please. Let's have the Xenomorph. Or how about the Predators just slaughter Thundercat Smurf Island? Like, I would just love to see that. All right, who wants a preview of videos coming up on the channel this week? You do? Okay, great. This is coming up probably Tuesday. First time I ever got to see this thing. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, in honor of me for the first time trying to coordinate a particular comic book to go along with something that's going on in pop culture, I'm going to show what, as far as I understand, is the first fight between Wolverine and Deadpool. So that's going to be on there. And then on 2 separate days, I'm going to show off these god-awful Wolverine Deadpool fights by Liefeld. Because you can't have enough Liefeld. He almost did kind of good in some of these pages. Like, he was approaching almost okay. But then you get to these guns. And you're like, what the what? No way, Nate. There's no getting away from him. Look at those guns. Isn't that just the laziest, stupidest shit you've ever seen? He's so stupid. And then villain dork no one cares about. Yeah. You want to know the greatest thing? Is I don't know how many people remember in this issue, it's drawn by 2 people. Adam Kubert does first part, and then there's this guy, Fabio Laguna. And all he did was copy Jim Lee artwork from X-Men and Wildcats comics. And it is so unbelievably obvious. Like, everyone who knows Wildcats, does that look familiar to you? Like, this was the character reveal pose of Zealot in Wildcats #1. Exact pose. Everything in here. This elbow shot, this jumping pose there, this face. Like, this guy is just, like, this is an entire panel ripped off from the end of one of those issues where Moira McTaggart is fleeing the X-Mansion or something like that, and this is a cab driver. It's just line for line ripping off Jim Lee's artwork. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Like this shot, I remember him jumping on top of, I think, Deathbird or something like that, slashing at her like that. It's just crazy how much of this shit is just stolen. Like, that's a shot of Voodoo's face from Wildcats, I think, issue 2. This long, skinny panel. That is a total Jim Lee fuck-up face there. I don't know how that guy got hired or how some editor didn't fucking realize what was going on, but that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm coordinating Deadpool Wolverine conversations on the channel to go along with the movie. Because why not? Sounds like he has a lot of integrity as an artist, right? Yeah. Oh shit, I still gotta erase pencil on this page. Shit. Yeah, Jim Lee clone is one thing, but literally copying line for line from the panels is just unbelievable. I don't know if I've ever seen that artist's name anywhere ever again. Are you talking about this here, Goku? I'm guessing. It's kind of like a combination of figuring out where the shadows are, and then I did like these straight lines, like just a straight line pattern, and then shaded it in. Just trying something different. Trying to mix it up a little bit. A little colored pencil in there, a little water, or not watercolor, but ink wash in there. Been getting in on that ink wash. I think this gray skull came out probably the best. I was just kind of fucking around and it just kind of worked out. I think it works out. But holy Lord, I am so close to being done. Oh God. All these pages. Because I counted up to this point, 139. Ugh. I mean, that was page 1 so far. I can't believe I've gone this far. Like, yeah. So close to being done. Hey. Heavy ass pages. Hope my kids appreciate this shit when I'm old and dead and they don't just like burn it. But hopefully I'm alive for, another 40 years, so. Thanks, Byron. I appreciate it. How much do I want for these priceless works? Yeah, I'll sell you all 150 pages for a nice 5-figure sum. Or you can just pick up a copy of the comic when I get it, which, I don't know. It depends on what my cost is and what I'll sell it for. Probably be at least $25 for a 150-page book. We'll see. I got to put it all together and see what it's going to cost to print up copies.
The background play on the YouTube Music app. You can play official tracks and live recordings in the background. Well,
So, Geronimo, it's a Masters of the Universe fan comic. It's a He-Man fan fiction. I'm doing it just because I had the story in my head and I wanted to do it, and I started working on it some years ago and I just kept going. And it's the best thing I've ever done. And I can't own it ever, so it's fine. I actually don't really care. But I like making a thing that people can actually read. Yeah, it'd be nice if it blew up and valuable, right? Unreadable is more fun? What does that mean, Nate? Oh shit, awesome. YouTube sent me another ad, another frickin' payment for ad revenue. That's awesome. Say, Rob, have I heard of Local Man Image Comic? No. Geronimo, the Thundercats make an appearance in this book. In case you're wondering, so that's the cover to book 1. That's the cover to book 2. But that is the cover to book 3. And the back of it, how about Grayskull with the Thundercats, you know, the Eye of Thundera roar shining above Grayskull. And Voltron shows up, and there's a connection to Transformers, only in the first 3 books. Books 4, 5, and 6 are self-contained to He-Man. But Nate, you're saying it's based on a washed-up 90s Liefeld character. What happens to him now, sort of thing. Flashbacks are full image style. That sounds interesting. I need to check that out. No, I have never heard of that. Is it through Image Comics or something like that? Is it like a whole actual produced title from a professional? That's done. You just handed me the best series for content. That's fair. All right, I'll have to look it up. All right, guys, I got to shut it down. It's been about 2 hours, and I got to do a few things before bed. But at least I got a page done. Yeah, I just saw that drop in there, Nate. I'm definitely going to check that out. It sounds like perfect content for the channel, so we'll have to see. I really don't want to go to bed because that means that I got to get up and go to work, and I really don't want to do that. But thank you guys. Appreciate it very much. And I'll see you shortly, probably tomorrow.